bad weather call for the vice president. So the motorcade is just in front of us under the Kennedy Center. Got a police boat following along out there at sea. That's kind of fast he's going. What he's up to. So the motorcade's still ahead of us. Where's the police boat? Wow, the police boat flew. The police boat's already down the 14th Street Bridge. Much faster than the motorcade. That's wild. And there ends our chase of the motorcade. Red lights here. You can see the motorcade is making its way through traffic up there. Interesting they had a police boat. Okay guys, that's the vice president on her way to the airport. I don't know where she's going today. The clouds are pretty heavy today, so no Marine 2. I just got a call from DC police. They had a mission for their helicopter and it too was scrubbed because of the cloud cover, so c'est la vie. I am on Capitol Hill, if you don't recognize the area. This is the neighborhood known as Eastern Market. This is the oldest continuously operated farmers market in DC. And we're gonna go in here and get some lunch because, well, I just have a hankering for a fried chicken sandwich. When you got a hankering for a fried chicken sandwich, there's pretty much only one thing that'll satisfy that, a fried chicken sandwich. So let's go inside. So this is a traditional farmer's market with produce and cheese, meats. This is the poultry man. It's all chickens, chicken thighs, chicken wings. This is the sausage man, the cheeses, and the pastas. These are all fresh-made pastas, lasagnas, raviolis, prosciutto, turkey breast, meat. And then another guy down here. You can get like rabbit here, you can get goat, more chicken, and down here at the end. Down here at the end is Market Cafe, the market lunch. How's it going? Got a fried chicken sandwich.
You want lettuce, tomato, and mayo?
No tomato.
Anything else?
Some fries with that and 2 Diet Cokes.
2 Diet Cokes?
Yeah. Interesting fried chicken today and fries. Let's see how this tastes. Pretty good. Okay, we have finished our yummy lunch and now we're gonna make our way out of the market, go see what else is going on in the city today. All right, out this way, I think. All right, so we're walking around Capitol Hill and there's a big vote message made out of pipe cleaners, actually. Yeah, those are pipe cleaners. But from a distance, you can make it out VOTV. It's kind of funky. All right, let's keep walking back here. We are back behind the Marine Barracks at 8th and I. This is where the President's ceremonial unit is based, and also where the Commandant of the Marine Corps has his house, just around the corner. So let's go around here and get a bike and go for a ride. There you see it, the Commandant's house. It's said that that house survived the invasion by the British Marines in War of 1812. And as sort of a professional courtesy from Marines to other Marines, they did not burn that down. Though they did attack the Navy Yard, which is down to my left here. A couple Marines on station right out front. You can see them guarding the Commandant's house. And we're going to make our way down into this neighborhood and find a bike. Okay, we are on two wheels now, and we're going to make a little bit better time spinning around Capitol Hill as we make our way back. Well, we're going to go over to the Capitol, then we'll go downtown and see what's up. It's yet another rainy day in Washington. This is, I think, 4 out of the last 6 days or something like that. And I guess, isn't there a hurricane coming to Florida? So maybe it'll come up this way eventually. You see this house on the right with the American flag right there? That is the birthplace of John Philip Sousa. Yeah, it's called appropriately the Flag House, sort of, and I think it's Airbnb now. But John Philip Sousa, the musician, was born in that home. Later went on to be the Commandant's, or the Marine Corps band's leader, and that was based just around the corner, along with having his own marching band. Let's see where we at. 7th? No, 6th Street. Oh, okay. 6th Street is kind of cool. So if we swing up here, where is the house? Here on 6th Street Southeast, just near 6th and E, is a house there. This house right there with the green shutters, 517 6th Street. That is the Gary Hart townhouse. Gary Hart was a presidential candidate, or could have been a candidate, until it was discovered that a beautiful young lady, I think her name was Donna Rice, was it? She went into that townhouse where Gary Hart was one night, and, well, she didn't come out until the morning. And, well, back in the 80s, that sort of thing just wasn't done, yeah? So the newspaper reporter, I believe he was from the Miami Herald or whatever, he sat in this park. He actually sat on one of these benches right over here and had a little bit of a view of the front where they had parked their car. And he sat here all night, basically, watching to make sure that the young girl did not go before morning, and that sank Gary Hart's presidential aspirations. It was over at that point. It was basically over. That's the 1st District substation of the DC Police Department. The 1st District headquarters is down a different part of town, but they have a substation here, which means there's lots of cops parked here. Nonetheless, you still can get robbed in this park if you're not careful. No pets. All right. Let's make our way over to the house side, which is just about, what's this, 4th Street? Yeah, so 4 blocks over, and what is it, E Street, 5 blocks up. So we'll be over at Capitol Hill in just a moment. It's actually kind of warm today. It was cool yesterday. Right now it's about 73 degrees, I would imagine, though cloudy. And if it rains, brakes. Yeah, that was a red light, and that was full brakes, because the brakes on these bikes, they don't always work that well. All right, lights changing now. All right, let's cut over through this park. It's interesting you can't actually see the dome. Well, the dome is just visible to me. You can't really see it over those trees. Now, in the original design of Washington, D.C., all the power was supposed to be with the Congress, and therefore all the business development would be down in this area. And the streets here are kind of laid out like they wanted a downtown area, downtown neighborhood to develop around. It was all basically a grid, pretty short blocks and all that, and their thinking was all the businesses would want to be near the Congress, so this is where the downtown sector would grow. And all the residences, well, they'd want to be down by the White House, where all the grand mansions would be. The reality is it's the opposite. This is all a predominantly residential area, and downtown by the White House is all the businesses. All right, let's continue down. Where are we on? D? Yeah, I think this is D or C. D. D Street. So 4 blocks to the U.S. Capitol. Now, on my right, this white building, this is the Republican National Committee headquarters, the RNC headquarters. You saw me staking out Donald Trump here a couple months ago when he came to speak. This is where the bomb was planted on January 6th in the morning. In fact, I think it was right down this alley here on my right there. And that's where they found the bomb. They still haven't figured out who planted it. Oh my, we have a Bearcat. We have a SWAT team vehicle here. Interesting. Let's cross the street here. Okay, we have made it over to the Capitol. Let's get on one of these sidewalks and make our way up to the parking lot. I don't even know if they're in session today. I guess judging by the number of Suburbans over there, some of the guys are back. But it's, what is it, a Tuesday, Wednesday? Yeah, they gotta be in session. It's a Wednesday. They gotta be doing something to justify all the black Suburbans. Wow, look at those flowers over there. See those? Those are really pretty over there. Okay, folks, there is your U.S. Capitol. And there's a big group of tourists out here getting their picture taken. Oh, police are questioning someone over there. Could be just some guy lost. Could be something more suspicious. There are a lot of cops out today. What is up with all these cops? It's like a CDU team's out here. Is there a protest planned? I don't know. Ton of cops. Oh, is there a motorcade here? There is a motorcade. Oh, Zelensky is not in town till tomorrow, I think. So yeah, this is just Cop Central. There's a motorcade. Not sure who's in that one. Slew of black limos over here at the Senate side. I've always told you guys, black Suburbans, the government runs on black Suburbans. Nobody, except for the Beast, which the president and vice president can drive in, nobody has a limousine anymore. They're all black Suburbans. There's some more of those pretty flowers over on the Senate side here. All right, let's go down and see what's down on the other side. Oh, that's right, they put in the first nail this week. Let's go take a look at that, yeah? So, you know, I've done a lot of videos about the plywood construction and the fence. There you can see both. There's the anti-scale fence in front of the plywood construction hoarding, along with the construction entrance. They have officially started construction of the inaugural platform. They had a ceremonial first nail ceremony that took place I think it was this week, maybe it was last week. They hammered in the first nail of the inaugural platform. Fence lines actually expanded a bit. Let's go around these people. Sorry. Left side, on your left. There we go. All right, let's swing through these bollards and then I'll take you back up and take a little closer look at it, yeah? So construction hoarding is up. And somewhere over there, I think they hammered in the first nail. And I can't get any closer. All right, let's turn around. This is kind of a tease. They have a ramp here, but then there's like 8 other sets of steps. It's kind of like, what's the point, guys? So under construction out here is the new inaugural platform. Wow, they've actually got the first wood framing set up there. You can see the plywood there? That's going to be the base of the inaugural platform for the next inauguration on January 2025. Okay, well, we'll see more of that platform in the months to come and possibly on January 20th. I don't know if I'm going to be credentialed for the inauguration. It kind of depends on a news agency specifically sponsoring me for that event. And I don't know if the one I'm shooting for will want inaugural photos or not. We'll have to see. But if I do get credentialed, you'll see it. I gotta start sorting that out. Was it September now? Yeah, probably in the next month or two, we're gonna get our paperwork alerts for that sort of stuff. Let's go down to the National Mall, see what's going on over there. Oh, what is it? Today's Wednesday. Thursday, we've got Jack Smith coming to that courthouse over there for the Trump trial. That's independent counsel Jack Smith has a big motion he's going to file, I think tomorrow. And that might be, well, you know, I bet there's going to be some folks out there. Pretty much the only photo you get, though, is Trump's attorneys walking in and Jack Smith's motorcade arriving. You don't actually get to see Jack Smith. He goes in a secret entrance underneath. They don't want him out in public. Trump does the same when he comes too. Trump goes through a back underground entrance behind the building. Make the yellow light. Okay, that's the Prettyman Courthouse and the William V. Bryant Annex of the United States Courthouse. This is actually the district court and the court of appeals for the district circuit, but there's another court of appeals for the federal circuit, which is down by the White House. It gets confusing, but DC has two federal appeals courts. It's kind of random. This is the Department of Labor tunnel. We're going under the Department of Labor. And let's make our way down into this part of town, which is known colloquially as Judiciary Square. It's where all the courts are, and a red light. These dumb brakes. That building there is the U.S. Tax Court. There's also like a court of admiralty. There's a court of military appeals. There's a court of administrative appeals. There's like just all these wild courts located around this area. Okay, let's swing over here to 2nd Street. So surrounding all these big office buildings and courthouses is this one building, this blue building right over here. And this is the Mitch Snyder Center for Creative Nonviolence homeless shelter. This is one of the largest homeless shelters in downtown DC. The land that it's on is probably worth, I don't know, 50, 100, maybe even $200 million. If they were to close the shelter and turn it over to developers, they would have a field day trying to buy this land. Of course, the activists don't want them to sell. It's not a very nice place, from what I'm told. There's a lot of violence and some drugs and some crazy people who are in there. But they're trying their best to help some people out. Who knows how long this place will last? All right. You know, you want to know how valuable the land is here? Developers have actually paid for the rights to build on top of the freeway. Yeah, so there's a freeway behind this hoarding, and developers put like big old girders across the freeway so that they can build buildings. Like you see those two buildings over there, those are over the freeway. And developers, they just want all the land they can find down here. Over there, that's Georgetown University's law school. The law school has a different campus than the undergraduates. So they have a library down there and a dorm and everything. Down here, this is what's left of Little Italy. This church here on the right is pretty much all that's left of what was once DC's Little Italy. Centro Scalabrini, St. John the Baptist Scalabrini Center. This was like an Italian Catholic church. And also on my left was, that is the Jewish Museum of DC. So the Italian Little Italy and a Jewish center down in this part of town. Yeah, that building and the Italian La Casa Italiana. Italian language classes. That's about all that's left of Little Italy nowadays. Let's swing left here, yeah? So this big building that you see right here, this is the FBI field office for Washington, D.C. This is where they do their actual investigations in the D.C. area. Anything related to like corrupt politicians, to terrorism, whatnot, that all comes out of the field office right here. Counter-espionage is handled out of this office as well. It's next to the National Building Museum, which is the old Civil War pension building. Absolutely gorgeous. Remember that I was in here when we did the big dominoes thing? This woman knocked down 100,000 dominoes that were set up inside the building museum. It's a beautiful building to go into. It's a private museum, so I think you have to pay like 10 bucks. But it's definitely worth it. All right, let's keep going a little bit farther into Chinatown, or as we call it, China Block. One time this was Chinatown, had lots of low-level townhouses filled with newly arrived immigrants from Taiwan and from China. Those all got bought out by the developers and turned into condos. The restaurants changed from Chinese food to All About Burger, which is actually a good burger. But there are still a few Chinese restaurants here and there, and a Chinese travel agency. Granny Zaz, what the heck is that? Oh, hang on a second. All right, so Granny Zaz is a pot place selling ganja. That is a marijuana distributor. Though technically they're not selling marijuana, they're selling stupid tokens. So they sell you for like 30 bucks, they sell you a tiny little Lego figurine, and then they give you a gift of $30 worth of marijuana attached to the $30 figurine that you bought. That's how they get around the law against selling marijuana in the city. Walk and Roll restaurant, that is the Surratt boarding house. That's where the Lincoln conspirators met and stayed. Now it's a Walk and Roll restaurant. This arch, oh man, it smells like marijuana down here. This arch is a gift from the government, city of Taipei, Taiwan. This is a very anti-communist Chinatown. Whenever they have Chinese New Year celebration, they wave Taiwanese flags. They do not wave the Chinese national flag, the Communist Party flag. It is all the nationalists out here. But as you can see, not much Chinese left. That's Capital One, Chop the Salary. There's a Chipotle down there. There's a Chick-fil-A. They have to have their names. There's Taco Bell. They have to have the name, the signage in Chinese. That's one of the requirements to be historically consistent, but it doesn't have to be a Chinese restaurant. So in case you're wondering, that's how you say Taco Bell in Chinese. All right, let's swing up this way. Let's try not to get hit. We're going to turn left here. All right, we made it. Woohoo! So there's a Bulgari, a Chanel. I think Tiffany's is down around here. This is the city center complex. Very high-end retail. There's Burberry. Yeah, there's Tiffany's on my right. Giorgio Armani, Christian Louboutin, Longchamp. Right over there is Gucci. That's the place that the rioters looted, protesting the police shooting of a community activist or a community, what was it called? Violence Interrupter, that was his title. He was shot at a McDonald's in Southeast DC, and they rioted by going to Gucci and looting the Gucci. They also marched on the police headquarters, but that was a different story. And here we are. We were here the other day. I showed you that. That's the Greyhound bus station, the old Greyhound bus station here on New York Avenue. It's a beautiful old building, isn't it? So the Greyhound bus station today is in Union Station. It's part of the train station intermodal platform where not just Greyhound, but all the buses. We have like what we call nicknamed Chinatown buses, which are like low-budget buses that run to New York City from DC. I think you can get to New York and back for like 30, 40 bucks or something like that. It's pretty cheap. It takes like 4 hours. So that's New York Avenue Presbyterian. That was Abraham Lincoln's church. Not that actual building, but that was his congregation. So Lincoln used to attend mass or services here. Now they have a homeless shelter in the back. I've actually heard a couple police calls here today already, one for a heart attack and one for a assault, or no, a mentally ill person. So the police have been here a couple times today. That over there, that building on the left, that's the Inter-American Development Bank. That's kind of like the World Bank for Latin America. They loan money to Latin American governments to do developmental projects. IADB. Let's keep going to the White House. Okay, there's the Treasury Building. Look on the back of a $10 bill if you want to know what it looks like. Because, well, it's there. There are the bollards. We'll go to the wide section. It's a little easier over here. There you go. Turn on the back of your $10 bill. That's what you see. And Treasury is part of what we call the White House complex. While the White House is one building, the White House complex sort of encompasses all the buildings in this area. The executive office buildings and the Treasury and whatnot. All part of the same security perimeter. And Lafayette Park, pretty quiet. The protest guy is here. Jehovah's Witnesses are here. Truth Conductor's not here because it's kind of wet. I guess he didn't want to come out today. Yeah. Bunch of guys jogging, probably from one of the colleges or something. The running club of Georgetown University or GW or AU or something like that. I do have credentials today, but I'm not going in. He's not coming back till like 10 tonight. Thought he might come back earlier, but nah. Let's swing around. So this is the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, the EEOB. It used to be called the Old Executive Office Building, OEOB, and that contrasted it with the new Executive Office Building, which is NOEB. But now it's named after Dwight Eisenhower, so EEOB. Do you know how many pieces of stationery they had to throw out? How many business cards they had to reprint? I mean, I think I once saw that changing the name of a government agency cost like $5 million in like paper and signage costs or something crazy like that. It's just nuts. So if you change the address of something, basically the government throws away all the old stationery, prints up all new stationery, and, well, taxpayers pay the bill. That's the Corcoran Art Gallery, now part of George Washington University. They do a lot of their, their photo and video students work out of there, and some of their fine art students have their classes in there and whatnot. Pretty cool. That's the American Red Cross headquarters over there, the building with the big red cross, if that wasn't kind of apparent. All right, let's slip out onto the address. Oof. It's actually pretty nice out, you know. It's 73, it's a tad chilly. It's not so cold that I want to wear a hoodie. Just wearing short sleeves, as you can see. Yeah, that's my arm. There's too many tourists up there. We're not going to go run over them. Let's go up at a monument or something. We should be getting a new national Christmas tree in the next month or so. November, I think, is when they're going to plant it, and then they'll decorate it. Last year we had a cut Christmas tree because the national Christmas tree was so, well, toast, basically. I wonder if they'll do that again this year. I doubt it. They should plant one. They should get on that pretty soon. All right, we're at the Washington Monument Grounds, aka the Big Stick, as my kids call it. There we go. We'll slide up this sidewalk. The monument's open. You need to get a ticket. It's a free ticket, but you need a ticket to go up, and you have to prearrange it. However, every day at pretty much 8 a.m. or something like that, they release a bunch of same-day tickets. So if you're in DC, you can go to this little building over here and say, "Hey, do you got any same-day tickets?" And they'll usually have some that you can get up. There used to not be ticketing, so people would line up hundreds deep and be out here for hours in the heat and the elements. Little guy. That's the African American History Museum right over there. That's a really cool museum. I actually really enjoyed that. It's definitely worth checking out. Like the bottom section is about slavery and the African Americans arriving to America. But then the top sections are about like culture and all the things African Americans have done, from science to entertainment to sports. A lot of famous memorabilia inside there. There's your Washington Monument. All right, let's make our way back towards the Capitol. Okay, that building you see right there, that is the National Holocaust Museum. Definitely a museum that you should check out, though it's pretty heavy, you know. It's not like you come out feeling uplifted when you visit that one. So this is the Printing and Engraving Building. This is where they used to print all the money, but I think they've moved all their printing operations out to Maryland in the suburbs, so I'm not really sure what they do in that building anymore. Used to be able to take tours and see them print the money, which was really cool, but they don't do that anymore. C'est la vie. You know what? It's starting to rain a bit. There is the tidal basin and the Jefferson Memorial. We're going to swing along the waterfront, make our way back up to Capitol Hill, the soft underbelly through southeast and southwest, sneaking low below their radar. I was watching Airplane the other day. Okay, we're down by the Washington Channel. That's that body of water out there. And, well, it's starting to really rain. Yeah, it's starting to pour a little bit. Not pour, but let's call it heavy sprinkling. So we might take a break under this bridge, the 14th Street Bridge, because, well, it's not raining under the bridge. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do next. Okay, just like that, the rain has gone away. We are down by the fish market in Washington, D.C. This is where you can buy fresh fish. And not only fresh, but you can actually buy cooked fish. There's cooked crabs right there, cooked shrimp, lots of other yummy stuff. This is what's now colloquially known as the Wharf. It's a project of new buildings and restaurants all along the waterfront here. And there's actually a water taxi out there to take you to Georgetown if you want a sort of sightseeing trip. A little bit bumpy. Let's find a nice metal spot. There we go. Oh yeah. There's the Shake Shack. Now there's a big, I think this is, I'm not sure what this is. I know it's called Anthem or something. This is a big auditorium where they have a lot of bands and musicians come down here to play. And there's the box office. I'm not sure. The Psychedelic Furs and Jesus and Mary Chain. That's who's coming next. Alright. Lots of little restaurants for you guys to peruse. Dinner. What's all that down there? A lot of steam of some sort. Let's go check it out. Some construction stuff down there. I have to ride my bike through that steam. Can you guys see the steam? There it is. Maybe it's a fountain. I think it is a fountain. I think it is a fountain. A fountain of steam. Ben and Jerry's. That's kind of cool. When it's too cold, they don't do water. Yep, now it's going back to being a fountain. Now it's funky. Wow, look at that building up there, the one that just sort of waves up like a big wave. That building just opened, like, I don't know, within the last year. Lucky Buns, I think these are really good burgers. I haven't had one. They've got a branch, oh, there's Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips. They've got a branch of Lucky Buns, I think, up in, like, Adams, Morgan. People have told me to try it. I'm gonna have to get over it. kind of a funky building. Is that like offices or a house? I have a really good view of helicopters if you live there. I have to tell the wife. Up here we have DC Police Harbor Patrol units. You can see there's the police boats. And Fireboat 2, Fireboat 4. Fireboat 1 has been in repairs for years. It's up in Baltimore. I don't think they have the money to fix it. There's another police boat they can transport to other parts of the city if needed. Now, when they originally built this Harbor Patrol base, they were going to have the DC Police helicopters based here. So there's actually a helipad out at the other end of this facility. Yeah, down there where they got all the porta potties and trailers stored. They could technically land helicopters there. You see, they're even a control tower up there to land helicopters, but the neighbors were like, no, we don't want helicopters. It was like, guys, you got like 1,000 helicopters anyway. Oh wow, there's like a swamp boat over there, one of those big airboats. I didn't know they had an airboat. See that one with the big fan in the back? I haven't seen them use that. Guess they have something to get into the shallows. Oh, this is a horrible sidewalk. Up, down, up, down. Hang on. Chunk. Man, this sidewalk needs to be redone. All right, straight ahead of you, that is the Titanic Memorial. Tribute to the men who gave their lives so that women and children might live. Of course, they never saw the movie when they had built the memorial. But it's to the brave men who perished in the wreck of the Titanic, April 15, 1912. They gave their lives that women and children might be saved. Okay, well, let's slide up this way and make our way around Fort McNair, a U.S. Army base right here on my right. And this is the alternative landing zone for Marine One. When the White House landing zone is occupied, this is where they bring Marine One. This is also where they brought all the congressmen on January 6th, when they evacuated from the Capitol. They were brought to Fort McNair and kept here on base in a secure location. All right, let's keep going this way. No, fire alarm is off base. It seems to be that electrical plant over there, that big office building, whatever that is. There are a lot of, this used to be a very industrial area with like power stations and cement mixers and oil towers and gas tanks and whatnot. They've moved most of it, but some of it is still here, just hidden in more pretty buildings, so that as the neighborhood property values won't be diminished. Yeah, this is a Pepco facility, the Potomac Electric Power Company. That's our electric company for DC. So they have some sort of fire alarm. This is DC United Stadium, Audi Field as it's known, and that's the club shop. And there is where DC United, the MLS soccer team, plays their matches. You can just see inside there a bit. They also have like U.S. national team games that have occasionally been played there. All right, let's zig-zag through these barriers here. Okay, right over there, that is Nationals Park. That is Major League Baseball's Washington Nationals. That's where they play in the National League. Yeah. Whoa. Actually, they won the World Series a few years back. What was that, 2019, 2020, I guess? That's the Frederick Douglass Bridge over the Anacostia. It replaces the former Frederick Douglass Bridge, which wasn't as nice or was much more industrial. It was also falling apart. Let's cut back through this neighborhood now. All right, that persistent, annoying rain has come back. We're not that far from where we need to be, but still, we're gonna get a little bit wet. All right, let's slide down here behind National Stadium, down the first base line into right field, and then we'll cut through what's called the Navy Yard, which is another new subdivision or new area of Washington, D.C. that's all been renovated. It's quite nice. Okay, we're on a boardwalk. It's going to take us along the Anacostia River. The Anacostia River is, well, it's got a bad history. I mean, every time go out and try to clean it up, they just get dirtier. There used to be a lot of people pour just raw industrial waste from light industries into it, and there's lots of other crap. They find bodies every now and then in here. They've been working really hard for the last 30, 40 years. Technically, you can swim in this river, though most of the locals would never think of such a thing, but it's passed all the EPA tests for swimmability. Let's go down here. This is an old, actually there's a water treatment facility over here and an old dock that's been repurposed as like a fountain for kids. Take the bridge over it. All right, now which way do we go? I want to get down a level. Let's go this way. So lots of little restaurants down here. There's some microbreweries, which is, I guess, a big thing nowadays. People want to go to microbreweries. When I was a kid, all we cared about was getting a Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's like, I know a guy can get us beer. Now it's got to be, no, it's a microbrew made with hops from Bavaria and Edelweiss. I don't know, whatever they put in microbrews. All right, let's keep going this way. Now, as we go through this fence, we leave the private Navy Yard and we enter the Washington Navy Yard, which is still a Navy base. You can see there's a conning tower of a submarine right there, part of the outdoor park. There's the Museum of the U.S. Navy is here. You have to get clearance to go on base to see it. It takes like about 20 or 30 minutes background check. It's kind of annoying, but once you do, you can go see a pretty cool museum on the grounds of the Washington Navy Yard. Navy JAG headquarters are NCIS. I think they're both based here on this facility. And a lot of other like procurement and other like naval logistics operations type things are based here. There are no ships anymore. There used to be a destroyer here. It was a museum ship, but they towed it away when they built the new bridge because it would not make it under the bridge. There's a big old railway gun from World War I. Yeah, remember those pictures you saw? Those are basically battleship guns mounted onto a train carriage. They used to use those to blow up stuff. This is where the battleship guns were made. They used to have foundries here, and that's where they cast the big 16-inch barrels in the foundries here in the Navy Yard. That over there, by that little building right over there, that's the Museum of the Cold War. Yeah, that's part of the U.S. Navy Museum, but especially exhibits just stuff on the Cold War. It's kind of cool. And right up here is a swift boat. You guys remember John Kerry, the swift boat commander? Well, that's kind of the ship he was in command of. That is a swift boat. And it's on here as part of the museum display. Walk your bike. Oh, okay. I guess this is technically, yeah, this is a drawbridge. There's a couple naval pilot boats out there or something. This is a cool little drawbridge, isn't it? All right, let's swing around. Oof. Still bumpy sidewalks. Come on, guys, clean these up. Sadly, another infamous tale from the Navy Yard is a mass shooting. There was an incident within the last 10 years where a guy came in here, shot about a dozen of his co-workers or so. Pretty famous mass shooting at the Navy Yard. A lot of video came out from inside, and yeah, it was a mess. I think they have a memorial somewhere out here to the victims. I'm not entirely sure where it is, though. All right, let's cut around the other side, and well, we'll be back where we started, yeah? Okay, we've zipped around the Navy Yard, and we are back on 8th Street Southeast. And if you remember where we started, well, we started at the Marine Barracks, 8th and I, the oldest post in the Corps. And well, this red light, this is I Street. And so there you go, that is the Marine Barracks here on your right. Marine Barracks 8th and I. All right, guys, that was fun. Okay. We are docked. Woo! Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little ride around DC today. Tomorrow, Zelensky comes to the White House. We'll be in there taking pictures of that. Don't know what else will be up. We're going to head home now, unless there's a shooting or a fire, then we're going to be back out. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.